Many people like to modify their bodies, some more than others, and then there's a select few who go beyond the normal, from skull implants to an ear implanted into an arm. Join us as we count the 10 most disturbing body modifications. Number 10. Synthol Abuse. Synthol, while technically a brand name, is the name commonly given to a muscle-enhancing formula that has been used and abused by bodybuilders for nearly 2 decades. It usually contains mostly oil and about 7% lidocaine and 7% alcohol. The lidocaine is the painkiller, the alcohol is the sterilizing agent, and the oil is the actual ingredient that increases the size of the muscle injected. Once injected, the muscle immediately increases in size, creating the illusion of mass muscularity. In reality, the solution is purely cosmetic and doesn't increase the actual strength of the muscle, so it's basically creating the illusion that you're muscular and look great while in fact you're as strong as a 2-week-old poodle. Except it isn't. You see, while in theory it sounds great to have the body of your dreams without having to work for it, in reality you'll most likely end up looking like a massive twat. Like this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and definitely this guy. So please, don't do Synthol. Number 9. Tattoo breast implants. When Lane Jensen decided to get a tattoo of a skanky chick and then give it breast implants, he might have thought it was an excellent idea. He was wrong. Not only did he not enter the pantheon of awesome, but he made himself into a creepy weirdo with what appeared to be a leg goiter. The implants were made from silicone, so they looked and even felt like little leg titties, and for a brief period of time, his only discomfort was calloused nipples on his calf. However, within a couple of weeks, he started producing excess lymphatic fluid, and eventually his body rejected them. Number 8. Corset piercing. Corset piercings are, sadly, exactly what they sound like. They're surface piercings meant to emulate the appearance of an actual corset, that delightful piece of lingerie that fetish enthusiasts have kept alive long after most women decided to wear shirts that didn't strangle the breath from their torsos. The basic idea of a corset piercing is to stab some holes in your back and lace yourself together like a shoe. The downside of looking so perfectly gothic is that the piercings are usually only temporary and will almost inevitably degrade into swollen, infected, nasty holes. Number 7. Skull implants. Transdermal skull implants are the latest thing in having metal jammed into the bone that protects your brain from having metal jammed into it. Potential downsides to getting this particular procedure done are the fact that barely anyone doing it is qualified or trained, since there are no qualifications or training for it yet. Also, there are no regulations on how it's done, since lawmakers didn't have the foresight to know that one day a body piercer would decide he wanted to become a triceratops. On the upside, this means that since there are no regulations, when you get yours done by a drunk guy with a hammer and a Black & Decker power drill, you can rest assured that he's technically telling the truth when he says that he's doing it right. Number 6. Arm ears. Performance artist Stelios Arcadius has had an ear implanted into his forearm. He also plans to implant a microphone so people can listen to what his arm ear is hearing. So pretty much whatever you would hear if you put your head against the man's arm. The ear was grown in a lab from cultured cells. Number 5. Subdermal implants. In a nutshell, a subdermal implant is exactly what the name suggests. It's an implant beneath the skin. Usually made from Teflon or silicone, a glorified spatula is used to hollow out a pocket in your flesh and the implant is then crammed in there. You can choose any stylish shape you've ever wanted to bulge unnaturally from your skin, such as a horseshoe, a pair of brass knuckles, or an Apple logo. You're going to want to wrap the part of the body for a couple of weeks, as any sudden movements might leave you with an awesome Teflon star rattling around in your ball pouch. And you better hope that whoever implanted the pentagram-shaped tumor in your forehead was using clean instruments, otherwise your body may reject the implant and try to vomit it up through the skin. Number 4. Extraocular implant. Thanks to the miracle of modern insanity, you can have stuff attached right to your eyeball. Like, right to it. Finally, people can look at you in a confused manner as they try to figure out how you got some piece of a charm bracelet stuck in your eye until you break down and explain it to them. The procedure was first done in the Netherlands and isn't really available anywhere else, though several states are trying to ensure it never gets a chance to become legal. Number 3. Magnetic implants. Once again, it is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of inserting random objects into your skin, why not shove some magnets into your skin? And you can pick up any random piece of decorative crap as long as it's metal, and have it attached to you with ease. An added and slightly creepy bonus of the use of magnetic implants is the ability to sense magnetic fields. Those who have had implants inserted have demonstrated an uncanny knack for locating power transformers and following magnetic currents in cookware. Basically, this means if you have a lot of very strong magnetic implants, you can become the most useless superhero ever. Except for Aquaman, of course. Number 2. Forked tongue. Why have one tongue when you can have two? Tracy Joy Burley is a 38-year-old professional piercer in San Francisco who says tongue bifurcation is typically done in a piercing shop under sterile conditions. But Dr. John Perlman, a prominent Beverly Hills plastic surgeon who has been practicing for 25 years and has turned down requests for procedures he found disturbing, says that the tongue is a very functional part of the human body, affecting speech and eating. I think anyone who wants this should undergo psychological evaluation to explain such a strong drive to stand out from the norm, and I consider myself a fairly open-minded individual. Number 1. Scarification. Imagine being 17, getting a YOLO tattoo, and realizing it was a horrible idea 2 weeks later. No problem, just go and get it covered by a portrait of Drake instead. Now imagine not being able to get rid of it, ever. And welcome to scarification. Scarifying involves scratching, etching, burning, branding, or superficially cutting designs, pictures, or words into the skin as a permanent body modification. In the process of body scarification, scars are formed by cutting or branding the skin by varying methods, sometimes using further sequential aggravating wound healing methods at timed intervals like irritation, to purposely influence wound healing to scar more and not scar less. Sign me up, you say? Well, why don't you Google it and take a look at some of the worst cases? All I could think of after seeing some of these was, why, oh why would anyone in their right mind want to do this? But who knows, maybe I'm just too conservative.